Hello, Facebook. I had a cancellation, so I wanted to just talk a little bit about motivation. So I'm going to wait a second and see if anyone joins. If not, that's okay. But I saw a quote, I read a quote the other day, and this quote was so great that I just knew I had to talk to you guys about it. So let's talk motivation. I'm going to wait one more second. Everybody else can catch the replay. So for those of you who don't know, I guess everyone knows, but I'm Kiara Moore, licensed mental health therapist. So I read a quote that says, people often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why it's recommended daily. I'll read that again because I just think it's hilarious. People often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why it's recommended daily. Y'all, it's okay if we are not motivated. It's okay if we have days when we just don't want to do anything, but it has to be practice. Motivation has to be practiced daily, just like everything else. It has to be practiced daily. Bathing doesn't last more than a day, which is why it's required daily. So why do we think that everything else is just supposed to last? It's not. We have to practice motivation daily. There are a lot of things that can impact our motivation, right? We're in a pandemic. Now, I operate off creative energy. So if I get an idea and I'm like, okay, I have to do it right then and in that moment. If I don't sit down and make the time to do whatever I'm thinking of in that moment, I know that that motivation may pass, and some time may go between when I first had the idea, when I was really motivated, and when I actually get it done. So I try to pay attention to what's going on around me. We're in a pandemic. There are some days where it's just like the weight of the world. You just don't want to do it, and that's okay. But there are ways that we can practice staying as motivated as possible so that we can achieve our goals and do the things that we need to do, okay? So let me just read the quote again for those of you who are just joining. People often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why it's recommended daily. So we got to make sure that we are rehearsing our goals and the things that we want to do on a daily basis. But recently I've been talking with someone about procrastination, and I realized with this person that although that they do have some procrastinating behaviors, right? They put things off. But some people, including this person I was talking to, I think they're more burnt out than anything. And I don't think that we pay enough attention to our bodies to recognize when we're really just feeling burnt out. So if you're experiencing a lack of motivation, if you're experiencing, just not really feeling the things that you usually are pretty good at doing, or maintaining your daily activities or your job or school or whatever have you, maybe you're experiencing some burnout. That's something for you to explore. And so maybe you may just need rest. You may just need a break from using that part of your brain. So go and enjoy, if you like to exercise or listen to music, do something different to give yourself a little bit of a break and then go back to it. And you might find that you've been a little bit more, that you're a little bit more motivated and rejuvenated in that moment. But then also, if you know that your motivation is kind of on the fence, right? You're not really feeling whether or not you want to pursue, or you not feeling a goal that you may have, or you're just not motivated to work, right? I would really take into account how you can prevent yourself from getting stuck. So whatever preventative measure you can catch. I know that if I have a goal, say when I decide when I come home from work, I'm going to clean because, my son might have messed up, right? So I'm going to clean as soon as I get home. But I get home, I sit on the couch, I start watching TV. I've sabotaged myself at that point, because I know I'm not going to want to get up. I'm not going to want to do it. But what I can do instead of that, instead of the sabotage, I can take preventative measures and say, I'm not going to sit down until I do what I need to do, because if I don't, I know myself. So if you're finding yourself feeling a little bit unmotivated, give yourself some grace. We are still in a pandemic. Give yourself some grace. Practice motivating yourself on a daily basis. If you were really motivated on Monday and woke up Tuesday just not feeling it, it's okay. It has to be practiced daily. If you find that you are experiencing burnout, take some time to rest and rejuvenate so that you can get things done. Burnout is real, especially if you are overworked during this pandemic. A lot of us were burnt out before the pandemic, and that didn't really help. And then the last thing is to protect yourself from self-sabotage. Protect yourself from the procrastination by putting in whatever preventative measures are necessary to get it done. If you know you get distracted with TV, do work in an area where there's no TV. If you get distracted, if you're working remotely and you're off task because you're constantly in the kitchen eating, or, dress for work. Set a schedule as if you're working. Do all the things that you would do in your office or your place of employment or at school so that you can provide preventative measures. So I'm done. I just wanted to give you a few tips on motivation because I read that quote and I just thought it was absolutely perfect. People often say that motivation doesn't last, but neither does bathing. That's why it's recommended daily. I feel like that quote is life-changing. I really hope that you get as much out of it as I did, and hope you stay motivated. Have a good rest of your Tuesday.